What's going on, guys? Mr. Jason back here again with another video for you guys. This one's actually going to be somewhat special. It is WrestleMania weekend, and WrestleMania Night 1 actually happened last night. And I just kind of been wanting to do this before WrestleMania Night 1 even started, but there was a lot of wrestling on yesterday. You had NXT Stand and Deliver. There really wasn't much time in between for me to be able to really film a video yesterday, and I was just doing other things, the last few days anyway, so I couldn't really fit anything into trying to get some stuff together to show what I have for my wrestling collection. It's mostly WWE and WWF because that's pretty much what I mainly grew on. Even as a kid, when I first started watching wrestling, of course, I watched some of WCW, but of course ECW as well, and some, TNA, which is now known as just Impact. And I do watch AEW, and those are the ones I usually have access to, like ROH, NJPW, I believe that's what the initials are. I might have gotten them wrong. But some of the more stuff that's not really fully mainstream or not easy access to unless you watch on YouTube. I rather just watch stuff on like cable TV or DVDs and whatnot. I don't want to have to rely on YouTube, which is why some of the wrestling promotions that are probably better than what I watch, to be honest, when it comes to wrestling anyways. But, next to the entertainment aspect of wrestling. I just rather not watch it on YouTube, but that's just me. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to do a video just showing what I have for my wrestling collection, which is, like I said, mostly going to be WWE. I do have, I think a few DVDs from TNA. I'm not 100% sure, but I have way too much. I can't just show everything by detail, but in between when I'm showing you my collection, I will talk about some of my thoughts on some of the stuff that happened on WrestleMania Night 1, because again, multitasking, it's just going to turn out to be like a really long video. Sorry, I have like an itch on the corner of my nose. But yeah, since I have these in front of me, I'll first start off with some wrestling programs. But Mike, yeah, guys, just drop some comments down below. Let me know if you watched WrestleMania Night 1, what you thought about it, what you thought about the Hall of Fame, just NXT Stand and Deliver. I'll just give some quick thoughts on Night 1. I thought it was really good, a lot better than I expected. WrestleMania Night 1, I'm more hyped up and excited for compared to Night 2. Night 2 seems to be more kind of like great wrestling matches that I'm going to be looking forward to. But at the same time, a lot of the talent and stars I was looking forward to seeing was actually on Night 1, which is why I was more excited for it. I would give Night 1 an overall, I would say, 7.5 out of 10. Of course, you had the return of Cody Rhodes, which I'll be honest, when he was first in WWE, I wasn't a big fan. But as seeing him in AEW, of course, he grew. He's learned a lot, and I grew to become somewhat of a fan of his in AEW. Not a huge fan, but still, I like him now. So seeing him come back to WWE, I'm willing to just see what happens and how it goes. Hopefully they book him properly, and hopefully he made sure there's some stuff in his contract where he won't regret it. Let's just say that. But of course you had that. And then Stone Cold's first actual match in 19 years. I was surprised. I thought it was just going to be a legit segment with KO or Kevin Owens on the KO show. But when they actually turned it into a no-holds-barred match, which has always been Stone Cold's style. He's always been a brawler, street fight, no-holds-barred type. I'm going to say it anyways because that's what they all do. They wrestle. So I use that term wrestler for anybody anyways. They're in the professional wrestling industry anyway. Like Vince turned it into sports entertainment, which is fine because he does have a lot more entertainment aspect to it. But again, wrestling is still mixed with it. When they have their matches, they wrestle. Like, yeah, they do fight and brawl and all that, but they also wrestle too. So I have mixed feelings on it. Don't want to get too much into that, but Kush, like I said, you had the Stone Cold and Kevin Owens. I was really happy and excited about that. Biggest pop of the night, Stone Cold and Cody Rhodes, of course. Bianca Belair winning her title back. Was really happy about that. That was an amazing match. Charlotte and Ronda, I will say, it's probably better Charlotte won, but at the same time, the match was eh. And then, I can't remember everything detail by detail because I'm already, sidetracked trying to do this video together and all that. But I don't want to make this video too long, but those are the ones that stood out the most to me. Everything else was pretty good too as well. It'll probably pop in my mind as I do this video. But let's start with this collection. Got some programs here that when I went to some wrestling events, I know one of these actually got signed by a couple of wrestlers, but I'll kind of show you when I get to it. But man, right here, I missed this, man. Hopefully, wishful thinking, high hopes, probably going to be disappointed. Hopefully this man right here, Bray Wyatt, either comes back tonight or the Raw after Mania, because Mania season's not over until Raw ends. So hopefully he surprises us, because he did do a recent post of a tweet. I'll put a little screenshot of it or screen caption of some sort, kind of a slight tease of coming back at some point. Whether it's WWE or not, I don't know, but I'm hoping it is, because he fits more in the entertainment aspect, as long as they give him like creative freedom and all that. But we'll see how that goes. But again, there he is right here, my man. You're about to see some bunch of action figures of one of his gimmicks. But here's another program right here of when I went to a wrestling show. What is this? Oh, it's actually my ticket. I still have my ticket for when I went right here. Of course, in Boston, Mass is when I usually go to these shows. This is when Stephanie McFoley, why is that stuff? And Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon were the co-GMs and all that. Let me see if this is the one I got signed or not. I don't think it is. Nope. And then here's another one right here. I would like to say, though, I want to state is Stone Cold Steve Austin is my favorite of all time. So I was really stoked to see him. My current favorite was Bray Wyatt or The Fiend, whichever you might want to consider him. His most recent gimmick was The Fiend. But let's see. And there's another program right here. I think these were about like 15 or 20 bucks when you would buy them. Oh, I found the autographs. But here's the autographs right here. I don't know if you can really tell. Like this one right here says Santino. Like on the bottom, Santino Marella. And above that, right here, I don't know if you can really notice the lettering, but that's a D, and next to it is a B. That's Daniel Bryan. When he was in WWE, he just put DB. He pretty much just did his initials. It was pretty cool. Actually, no, he didn't do his initials. Next to the letter D is the L, and I believe under it is supposed to be like a B. You know how some people put their autographs just like scribbly? So yeah, I met Santino and Daniel Bryan actually going to the elevator, because I was with a friend, and he has to use the elevator because he has a disability that he can't really use escalators or anything, because he has to use crutches and sorts of some sort. So I was going in the elevator with him, and we happened to be in the elevator with Daniel Bryan, Santino, JTG, which was from Crime Time. I believe it was Dolph Ziggler. Bray Wyatt, oddly enough, but that was when he was in NXT as Husky Harris. I didn't really know too much about him then. So, of course, I was in the elevator with one of my favorites of all time. And, of course, back then I knew nothing about him. And, yeah, it was just a very memorable moment being in the elevator. It was very awkward. Everybody was quiet. Like, we didn't want to make them feel odd. We didn't really want to be like, oh, my God, we're in our elevator with you guys, you know? But those are the programs I had. I'm going to show you some CDs. I couldn't get everything together because it would just be way too much. But I have a CD from Jeff Hardy, because he is somewhat involved in the music industry, does his own music and all that. So I get that one. And then I have Steve Austin's, what is this called? Stone Cold Country, some of his favorite country songs. And then you got like a lithograph, 3D lenticular cover. Found that, I believe, like at Goodwill or a Savers for very cheap, so I bought that. Then you got WWE The Music Volume 10, A New Day. Like I said, for those who have been following me, know I'm a big fan of wrestling, but mostly WWE, of course. I'm not biased or anything. I'll always try to stick up for all promotions as long as the debate is reasonable. But if the debate isn't really reasonable, a lot of the times it's not worth even like trying to, you know, stick up for any promotion. Then you got WWE Originals. Right here, it's actually songs where wrestlers were the singers, trying to sing anyways. And then you got in WWE Anthology, which I think this came out in 2002. It basically has the Federation years, like the old generation, like Hulk Hogan era, then the Attitude era, and then at the time anyways for 2002, like the now, when it's basically Brock Lesnar, Undertaker as the American Badass and all that. I got this, I believe, at a Savers or something. That's why it's all chewed up. I don't know if one of my cats maybe did that. WWE Voices, Volume 9. I think I have all of these. Like I said, I still have more back there in the closet somewhere in the corner that's kind of blocked off. I just grabbed as many as I could that was in sight, just to show some of my wrestling collection to celebrate WrestleMania weekend, of course. And then I got my Funko Pop of The Fiend. The guy Bray Wyatt that I was pointing out on the programs, actually this was his most recent gimmick before WWE sadly released him for whatever reason. Unless it was their whole little work of just trying to give him time off to heal or whatever he needed to do to fix himself, find himself, whatever it may be. Because in his post, he did mention that he's healed, he took time off and whatever else. So I'm hoping they bring this guy back. And this is the one where he's wearing a Santa Claus hat. He glows in the dark too, so that's pretty cool. And then one of my favorite current wrestling, female wrestlers, divas, whatever they want to be considered now, whatever Vince wants to call them. I got my box a little beat up. These were actually at one point really hard to find. You can't really find them that easy now unless you buy them online, but in stores they were very hard to get. Finally came across them in the store, and of course the box was all crushed, but I was like, whatever, I'll just buy it anyways. And then we got her basic. Those ones were the elite, which comes with accessories and stuff. These are the basics. Same girl. This was different gimmicks, of course, as you can tell. This was her first gimmick when she arrived in WWE, and then her somewhat recent gimmick. And then we have, let's see, The Fiend Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan, because they did feud with each other. I forget exactly what. I think it was one of the Royal Rumbles. They feuded. They had a couple matches, I believe, when he was the Fiend. They actually feuded too when Bray Wyatt was the Wyatt family. They tried to recruit Daniel Bryan. That's a 2-pack. And then we have an Ultimate edition of The Fiend Bray Wyatt right here. As you guys can see, I'm a big fan of this guy. As a big fan of horror movies, and he was already one of my favorites because his gimmick before this was even like horror related. One of the best creative, best minds in the entertainment industry, or wrestling in general, I guess you can say. One of the most creative. Tom Savini, if I'm saying that properly. Kind of have a headache, so I'm a little brain fart. Tom Savini and Jason Baker, I believe the guy's name is. I can't remember that guy's name, but they both worked together to put the mask on. So yeah, the work of Tom Savini. And then of course we got another Elite edition. This is the certified authentic edition. He's holding his former gimmick. That's what his former gimmick was before the Fiend. What he looked like in the Wyatt family. So his way of saying like that guy's dead now, so here's the Fiend. But yeah, a lot of these I'm noticing after I bought all of them is it's pretty much somewhat the same figure, just different accessories. But big fan that I am, but fam, I was like, you know what? I'm just collecting all of them. I don't care as long as they come with different stuff in each one. I'm all for it. Even if the cover's just different, I'm all for it. And this is the basic series, no accessories or anything. Top picks of the Fiend Bray Wyatt again, and this was his split personality gimmick of Bray Wyatt as the Firefly Funhouse. This is who he was during his Firefly Funhouse. It was like segment skits that he would do before he would turn into this guy. Yes, this is the same man right here, for those who don't know. And then, of course, you got the Elite series of Bray Wyatt. He comes with his little puppets that would talk to him, and they were like his friends in his Firefly Funhouse segments. You got, I really can't remember. It's been so long since he had these puppets. I forget the name of that pig, to be honest. And of course, we have SummerSlam edition of the Fiend Bray Wyatt when he was the SmackDown Universal Champion right there. And then we have another SummerSlam edition of the Fiend Bray Wyatt. I'm sure you guys are probably sick of seeing Bray Wyatt. But yeah, sorry, here we go again. WrestleMania series of the Fiend Bray Wyatt action figure right there. Then we got a WWE DVD board game. And of course, we got all these DVDs back here. I'm going to have to, you know what? Hold on one sec. I know I just said you guys were probably sick about hearing about the Fiend Bray Wyatt, but I have some collector box sets of some of the Fiend Bray Wyatt collector sets that they just have miscellaneous items mixed in here for collectibles. You get the Wyatt Gym. I did unboxing videos for these, so if you guys are going to want to see those, I will actually put those, if you want to see more in depth of this box and what comes in it, I'll put the in-video links at the end of this video if you're curious, but I'm going to let you be warned that it was pretty much my early years of YouTube, so I was more awkward and more stuttering than I do now during videos. So just want you to know it's probably going to turn out to be very weird. And this was a holiday edition of Bray Wyatt. Ramblin' Rabbit. Again, comes with a shirt and other items in there. But again, if you want to see a more in-depth look into these boxes, I will have the links for those videos at the end of this video. Let's see. I know, a lot of wrestling stuff. Most of it ends up being Bray Wyatt. What do you figure? And then here we have the complete Royal Rumble anthology set. This has 1988 to 2007 because that's when this got released, which is why at the time it was known as complete. But of course, I don't have all the Royal Rumbles now, but up to 2022. I do have most of them, I will say. And then we have the complete WrestleMania anthology set right here. This covers up to WrestleMania 21. But I believe I do have all the WrestleManias up to now. Well, not 38, and it's not done yet. But when it does release, I will get it. But yeah, I'm going to have to flip you guys around now to show you my big DVDs and video game collection. So now we are looking at my wrestling DVD collection, not fully organized yet. As you can see, most of it is. The ones that are on the shelf now are organized. There's just some recent ones or whatever just standing up there. We got some Survivor Series anthology set up there. Starting from the left on there is starting from 98, going through 99. Then it's reaching 2001, 2002. And then when you see Kurt Angle's face right there with the number 2, that's starting 2003. And you got a more recent WrestleMania. I think that was the COVID era Mania. And then you got 2003, 2004. Going to 2005, you got some ECW. You got your Monday Night Wars up there. And it's just basic ideas going all the way. I don't have everything. I don't have, because it should be ridiculous to have everything. I just really can't afford to do that, as much as I would love to. But I have a big, huge amount, basically. Just giving you an idea. Get some Slam anthology sets. These ones right here, complete year of 1999. All the SmackDowns, all the Raws, all the pay-per-views. Everything from 1999. Those aren't official. Those will, of course, bootlegs from like VHS rips to DVD and all that. But whole point is that's the whole year of 1999 right there. Happy about that. I paid, I think, like $65 for that. Then you're starting to have like the documentaries of the wrestlers and all that. And then you get some stuff right here on the bottom. And right there. And then I have some wrestling games mixed in here. I'm just going to scroll through. You're going to see my video game collection as well. And there they start. WWE SmackDown. Wait a minute. Right there is when it starts. You got WWF Attitude and WWF SmackDown for PlayStation 1. Then, of course, you got your SmackDown. Just Bring It. Shut Your Mouth. Here Comes the Pain. SmackDown versus Raw 2006. Crush Hour, which is kind of like Twisted Metal. And then the wrestling ones for PS3. Up to 2013, I believe it was. And then you go down here to the PS4. And then you start off with, I'm missing 14, I guess. I didn't realize I was. Because 2013 was the last one on PS3. PS4 started with 14. Then it goes 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 2021 was not made because of, we all know how bad 2020 was. And then, of course, 2K22, which you see right there next to those CDs, just came out. Then I have a random VHS of Insurrection. I also have some recorded VHS of wrestling shows from back in the day. Just throw some years. I did basically did my own greatest hits, but those are in the attic somewhere, just all filled up in boxes. I also just came across these in a drawer when I was putting some stuff back. I totally forgot about these. When I went to some wrestling events, I developed some pictures that I actually took of when I was at the shows. A lot of them actually came out pretty decent because I was always getting seats for decent price. Of course, on the third-party market, like on the ramp side, close to the entrance area. That's a blurry picture. That's why it came out like that. Got some pretty good pictures of CM Punk on his WWE days. You got Daniel Bryan. And close before that was Randy Orton. So I just figured I'd show some of these. Look at that. Some pretty good photos. That was a different show, I'm guessing. He's wearing actually, no, it might have been the same show. He just came out during his entrance with a shirt. These photos definitely aren't in order. I always just try to take pictures of the talent that I like. Roman Reigns when he was in the Shield. Right there. Seth Rollins. CM Punk, go to sleep. That was a Survivor Series. Apparently. John Cena. Some of the Divas. Let's see, who do we got there? Eva Marie. The Bella Twins. I think Natalia. I'm not sure who the other two are. Can't really tell. Oh, AJ. One of my favorites. As you can see up there. And over there. And a cat. Yeah, but that diva I just showed on the posters on my wall. It's her right there. Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. Triple H, this is when he was the authority figure on screen TV. Triple H, Shawn Michaels. Right there. I took a picture of the Titantron to try to get a decent shot. Dean Ambrose and RVD. Dean Ambrose again. Well, obviously John Moxley now, but during that time it was Dean Ambrose because he was with the Shield. RVD, Mr. Monday Night. Rob Van Dam. Dolph Ziggler. AJ. Not to be confused with AJ Styles. AJ Lee. Seth Rollins. It's a really good picture right there of Seth Rollins. Coming down through the crowd. The Shield. And AJ and Layla. I think that's Layla. She looks angry. And CM Punk. And got Edge. I think that's JTG from Crime Time. Natalia. JTG again. The Undertaker and Bret Hart. Oh my god, I think this was one of the anniversary episodes. I forgot that happened. Yeah, Vince McMahon's all angry when he was with Triple H. I forget who that was. Who he was angry with. Oh, here's the Wyatt family. See the guy right there on the bottom? That's Bray Wyatt. The one who's the Fiend gimmick. Luke Harper. Man, rest in peace. Brody Lee. His AEW name. And here he is, the Wyatt family. Man, this guy's freaking brilliant. Miss him so much. Hope he comes back. Rest in peace, man, right there. Him in his sheep mask. Bray Wyatt sitting in his chair on the ramp just watching the match. And some good photos here. Like, when I don't look at these things for a long time, it's like, wow, I actually really did get some good photos. And this is random. When was Adam Sandler in WWE? No, I'm just kidding. This was actually when I lived in Peabody, Massachusetts, close to Salem. They were filming That's My Boy, if you recognize his outfit. They were filming nearby my house when I lived in Peabody, so I actually was able to go near the set. And Adam Sandler took it upon himself to just walk around and meet the crowd. I got to shake his hand. I didn't get no autograph. But I got some pictures. But yeah, that's basically bonus footage, not wrestling related. But hey, bonus footage, what else? But yeah, just wanted to show those photos. But yeah, that's pretty much not everything, but a good amount of my wrestling collection. And I don't know if you noticed, I didn't point out any of the TNA DVDs. I only have like maybe one or two in that collection back there. But maybe I'll point an arrow with something whenever. But yeah, so going back to WrestleMania 38, like I said, I really enjoyed it. I believe I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I only pointed out a few matches. And, of course, you had Madcap Moss versus... Or not Madcap Moss. You had Baron Corbin versus Drew McIntyre. That was, it was okay. It is what it is. It was pretty cool when Drew McIntyre took the sword and basically just cut the ropes and the ring fell apart almost. Then you had... See, I can't remember everything off the top of my head. I don't want to like just sit here and look like an idiot. I'll just put a card of what was on WrestleMania Night 1, but I just basically already gave my thoughts on the ones that stood out the most to me. Overall, I did enjoy the show, 7.5 out of 10. And do I have any predictions for Night 2? Again, I can't remember all the matches, but I'll put a screen capture of Night 2's card of the matches and all that. My prediction is, well, not really predictions. It's basically who I would want to win. I want Bobby Lashley to defeat Omos. It's just he's terrible on the mic. He has no wrestling skills whatsoever. I don't know why they're choosing to push him as a big monster. If they wanted to keep somebody like that, they should have just kept Braun Strowman, because he actually had charisma. He was so much better, at least overall, compared to Omos. I wasn't a big fan of Braun Strowman, but it is what it is. Edge and AJ Styles. That one, I just got goosebumps thinking about it. Really looking forward to that one. Edge as a heel doing what he's doing now. He's the best at it. And AJ Styles is a great wrestler, so it's going to be great to see that match. And then Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn. I like Jackass, so I like Johnny Knoxville. I'm not mad about it. It's going to be entertaining. I'll just say that. Most people probably don't care. Oh, speaking of, going back to Night 1, Logan Paul and Miz versus Mysterio and Dominic. I didn't give a crap about that, but it was pretty cool to see the Miz turn on Logan Paul and give him the skull crushing finale. I believe that's what it's called. But going back to Night 2 now, which hasn't happened yet. Like I said, I can't remember everything, but I'm just pointing out what I can. Then you have the unification title match with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. I'm going to have to say Roman Reigns is going to win. And going back to Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, hopefully if he does, like I said, wishful thinking, if he is coming back, he does have some leftover business with Roman Reigns, so hopefully maybe after, if Roman Reigns wins, maybe he comes and starts the feud with Roman, and I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but I would rather have Brock win, but I think Brock's going to disappear for a bit. Brock Lesnar has been at his best. This is the best Brock Lesnar has been in his whole career, basically. It's just seeing Brock in another personality where he's actually smiling, having fun, having a good time, actually having somewhat decent matches, and, you know, can't complain about that at all. But, yeah, that's going to just be all I'm going to talk about Night 2. I'll just put some screen captures of the card, so if you want, you can get an idea of what happened on Night 1 and what's about to happen on Night 2. And I just want to bring up one more thing about the Stone Cold match. Of course, coming with their age and 19 years away from the ring, and of course, he had like a short time frame to get in shape for an actual somewhat match. It was no holds barred, but it was still like a decent length match. He took quite a few bumps that I was very surprised about. I knew he was in great shape. He has stated that he could come back and do a few matches if he wanted to. And I'm hoping he comes back maybe and has some dream matches with some of the talent that is around now. And the last couple of weeks, I mean, Brock Lesnar has kind of took a little shot at Stone Cold, saying he hasn't kicked my ass yet. And it's kind of somewhat of a tease. And Roman Reigns said he would, I forget the way, squash him. He said he would squash Stone Cold too. So, I mean, he had a couple of teases there for dream matches. Probably not going to happen. Again, wishful thinking. But I did notice he was kind of going at a slower pace because with age, and you can't really, you know, it's not the same. That's just kind of what it is. But yeah, that's actually going to do it for this video. Just wanted to give an idea of my collection. I have more. I couldn't bring everything out, whether it's stuck in corners in the closet or in drawers somewhere. But yeah, just wanted to celebrate WrestleMania weekend. If this video seems rushed and just thrown together, I apologize. I basically did throw it together, but hopefully it turns out well. And if it does well enough, I'll go more of an in-depth of my collection at some point. So we'll see how it goes. But guys, drop some comments down below if you watched WrestleMania Night 1, what you thought about it, if you're looking forward to Night 2, because I will have this video uploaded before Night 2. So let's talk about it. Hall of Fame, Stand and Deliver, AEW, anything wrestling, anything in that industry, ROH, whichever, let's talk about it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, get notified when new content comes out. If you're already subscribed and watching this, I appreciate it very much. You guys know that, but I will see you all in the next one. Take care.